Alright, we are back for round 1. I definitely want to play first. And that hand is pretty great. Yeah. Carving Pie into Bandit is just pretty much the best thing I can do. Also the sprites gets better in multiples, they also get better with the Bandit, so... Yeah, I need to draw a third land, but that hand is looking just great. I'm gonna reveal the Birthright. The reason is, if my opponent knows about the bandit, they are less likely to allow me to deal 2 damage if they can choose whether I deal those damage or not. So we'll see. And they took the damage, which is good for me, so I'm just gonna proll that out and pass the turn. And I feel like if I just draw a third land, I'm gonna be unstoppable. That draw is just crazy. Yeah. Looks good. Alright, well, this is kinda clunky, but on the other hand, it's a spell I can cast and my opponent is just not doing anything yet, so it's not bad either. So I could Tarfire them for 2 and get back the Tarfire. Not sure that it would accomplish a lot of things, especially since if I draw a mountain next turn, and they play something like this, I can kill it using, well, I would ending actually, so yeah, actually it doesn't really matter. But if I draw a land here, my opponent is dead. I did not draw a land though. If I can win a game with just 2 lands on the battlefield, that'd be pretty funny though. Okay. Well, I guess I'm only attacking with the fear creature then. Now I'm gonna do the Tarfire trick. Just because it means my opponent is dead next turn unless they have a way to deal with one of my creature, or they have some sort of black creature. I mean, it's not really a trick, but... And I'm gonna, play the burst right now because it spare my mana first, and second, they know about it, so... there's no reason in slow rolling it and making anything different. So my opponent seems pretty dead here. I mean, they had a fairly slow start, but I'm stuck on 2 lands, so that was crazy. When you finish the game with 2 sprite and 2 ending in the end. That was something else. We are playing against some sort of white-red deck, which is probably playing, if they are playing main deck, Hill Combat Giant is probably the guy who got my the Giant Lord I opened, and who is playing the Giant deck. Good news is that we do have some very good removal that can kill very big creature. We are aggressive, which is annoying for them. We have some flyer, which they don't like. I think this should be a very good matchup for me. Maybe Blight is good in this matchup, especially on the draw. Other than that, maybe I should actually main deck the Boggart. It does give menace to a lot of my creatures, so maybe it's actually good enough. And the one creature that it doesn't give menace are the fairies, which already fly. Yeah, I'm wondering if this is not actually better than the... Well, Bandit has been really good. No, I don't think there's any 4-drop that's worse than the Boggart here. Okay, what would I cut though for that? It's a giant deck, but they probably have some sort of small creature like potentially Kitkin Greatheart, so the 2/1 get that becomes 3/2 first strike if they have a giant. They could have some Harrier. I don't think it would be very wise to side out a Tarfire, and we are not even sure that they are playing some big giant. It's very likely, but it's not like 100% sure. I don't know. Torch Runner seems pretty mediocre here, though. It's kind of defensive. My opponent doesn't seem very aggressive. It doesn't match up very well against giant. Yeah, and I think Blight could be a very, very good in the late game on the draw. Because I do have a bunch of removal, so I could see a game where, me and my opponent just neutralize each other, and we don't have match onto the battlefield, and then the Blight just give you such an edge because in just a few turns they will be left with no permanent. So not a few turns, but once you get one, I mean the first target, the creature, and then probably 2 or 3 other land, it's really hard for the opponent to come back in the game. So even though I don't think it's really main deckable, I thought that card was really good when I first started to play Lorwyn, and I think in some other set it could be really good, but here it just feels kind of slow and clunky. But again, I think on the draw against a deck that, well, seems to be playing some probably pretty gigantic creature, it could be good. Oh, that hand is, whew. And it's, they are all sorted to make this magnificent arrangement. That's such a beauty. Okay, very good mulligan though. And I don't mind drawing a third land, but curving the Tarfire into Sprite Chaser into the Thieving Sprite seems like a good option for me. Alright, nice. Don't really like mulliganing, but when you mulligan into a hand that's as good as this one, it's not really an issue. For some reason my opponent is playing black, so maybe they're actually not on the giant plan. I don't really know. We'll see. They are still not doing much early on though. It might just be a Mardu giant deck, I guess. What is that? Okay, an elemental. Okay, another ending. I do have a little bit of removal around. I think I should... Well... I should just Sprite. I don't really have any fairies yet in my hand, so I don't think this will get much better. I'm probably just gonna get a land here, but it's fine. I mean, you still get quite a good advantage. And, the Sprite Chaser can swing in for 2. And next turn I can maybe end their 4-drop and Tarfire the Past Blazer. And if I draw another Sprite, that's much better to cast the first one as early as possible. A very good draw here would be the Dream Spoiler Witches, since I do have a bunch of instant in my hand. Ooh, I got a Brawler, that's not bad. It's kind of nice to get a good, not a good card, but a decent creature in one hand. On the other hand, if they give me that, it might be that they are lacking land, but it might also mean that they do have some very good spells in hand, at least better than that. So, it's not like the best news ever, but I think it's still fine. And the more lands they keep, like if they have some 6-drop and want to keep lands to cast them, I'm really happy because of my endings. So getting a spell here is pretty good, because I think I would have had to end that at some point, most likely. Black Poplar Treefolk. Okay. Should I end that? Don't really think so. I mean, most of my creatures are evasive. It's gonna beat me for 1 each turn, which is really not an issue. I think I should Tarfire that now, though. Well, I guess I have the ending in the back. Well, if they have a pump spell, I don't really want to use an ending because of a pump spell. I think I should just get rid of that now. I don't think there's any real reason to wait, and I will want to kill that at some point, so I might as well do it now. And again, I could have, end the Poplar while they don't have regenerate mana, but I think if they want to play spell, there are going to be other turns where they will not have mana, and the Poplar is actually not doing anything in this. I mean, it's dealing 1 each turn, which I actually don't care about. I mean, if I'm dead in 18 turns because of the Poplar, it's going to be another story, but I don't think this is ever going to happen. And again, I suspect my opponent to be playing a giant deck and to have some gigantic threats, which I really want to be able to end. Okay, we got the sideboard option here, which is sweet. Nice. Yeah, that sounds very good. Also, it's kind of good against the Shaman because it's sacrificed, so It will get rid of it pretty much no matter what. And again, that thing is just not threatening. And my opponent, well, they can have 3 Axe Grinder Giant in their hand, or I don't know, any combination of 6 or of 3 6-drop. I would not care about them. I just have enough removal to do whatever I want. Okay, that one is very fine actually, because I can kill it in response to its trigger, and it will deal no damage unless I'm mistaken. Alright, yes, it worked out the way I thought it would, which is, I guess, good news for me. I might as well play this at the Staff Boggart. It's probably not going to be able to attack efficiently into the Poplar, but I don't have anything better to do, and, you know, it's fine. I don't actually think I really need that too much, do I? No, that's a very mediocre card, and at that point, since I have the Blight, lands I think are better than most of my spell. Just because the sooner I get that online, the harder it's gonna be for my opponent to win. Let's see what they do with their card. I think they want a land. I'm pretty positive that my opponent has some sort of 6-drop in hand, but which would really not be surprising given that they are playing Giant, but since the Vivid Land enters the battlefield tab, they might not really want that. Good news is now they will have to kind of keep 3 mana available if they want to be able to block the Boggart. And if they tap out for a 6-drop, then they have to either chump or take 6. So yeah, that's pretty annoying spot to be in for my opponent. Pilferers. Unfortunately, that cannot get back my Tarfire, otherwise I would, you know, peek it. I guess I'm attacking with everything. They are probably just gonna block and regenerate, but it's fine. I will not end that thing. Again, I don't really care about it, and I'm very positive that my opponent has some big giants in hand that I will wanna be able to kill. Should I play the Pilfers? I don't think so. Just as a 3/3, that doesn't seem good, especially since it can get aced if one of my goblin dies. Just doesn't seem worth it. But I think we are gonna see a Sovereign here, or an Axe Grinder Giant. Okay. Well, when your opponent starts using a Bonfire on a Thieving Sprite, it's probably not good for them. I guess I could kill that end of turn. Should I? And then, well, even if I draw a fairy, they are not dead. They don't really have any good block for that either way. I don't think it's... and Pilferers are not getting ace because it's not a goblin. I don't think it's worth doing, honestly. If they want a chump block, I'm fine with that. If they take 3, it's fine. It's, you know, it's not gonna be much better than... I mean, it's not gonna be much worse than 4 if I had killed that. And I think I'm just fine with my opponent chump blocking. I think with the Blight, I don't have to kill them right now, and otherwise I lose. I can just play the later game and be completely fine with that. I'm gonna play Pilferers, get back my Sprite. And my opponent is like in so much trouble. I have some very good removal. I'm really good if we go to the late game because of the Blight. They are at 6. I don't know. It's just terrible spot to be in for them. But I think my deck is like really strong, so... Because my opponent is like... They haven't like not done anything. I mean, they've played some very good spell. I mean, one very good spell, I guess, and some other mediocre spell, but... It's not even that they are missing stuff, or I don't know what's happening though, because with 6 mana and 3 color, I'm not sure why you would have 4 cards in hand. I don't think I want to play that first, even though I might want to Pepper Smoke. I think I'd rather have the ending available. Well, not really, there aren't that many flash creatures in those colors. Either way, I don't think there's a way that I can lose this game. Not sure why my opponent is not casting anything. Maybe they are just flooded. I don't know. Well, maybe they have just a bunch of lands then. I'm not sure what they could do here. Okay, just die. Pretty weird game. Alright, well, again, feels like a very easy win, but yeah, I don't know. My opponent does have a weird deck. I mean, my opponent plays some really decent spell. I mean, Shaman is really good, and the Bonfire is quite good too, but... And Past Blazer is not bad either. But I don't know. Alright, that was a strange match, I guess, but... game 1 was pretty fun. The, the 2-land beatdown draw was kind of sick. Alright, hopefully you enjoyed, and I see you guys for round 2.